Hey guys, excited to be back for another review, and today we're going to be looking at the 12th episode of Gravity Falls called Summerween, which is one of my favorite episodes yet, and probably in the whole series, but I'll get to the review in a second after I finish the synopsis. Alright, let's get started. It's Gravity Falls version of, oh wait, hold on, sorry, my thing is being glitchy. Oh, there we go. Dipper, Mabel, Seuss, and Grunkle Stan drive to the Summerween superstore to prepare for Summerween. Stan explains that the locals wanted to celebrate Halloween twice a year, so they created Summerween, a Halloween in the middle of the summer. That'd actually be pretty cool if, you could celebrate Halloween twice a year because, as you probably know by now, because I'm a big horror fan, my favorite holiday is Halloween. I get so excited every time Halloween comes around. Oh, and if you guys want a link to my short horror film that I made last year that won the People's Choice Award last October, then I will put the link in the description to my horror parody, starring my dog, A Nightmare on Paw Street. So I'll be leaving the link to that in the description if you guys want to check it out. It's pretty funny. Anyway. So they created Summerween, a Halloween in the middle of the summer. Seuss finds funny, cackling skulls in the store, and he keeps pressing them, much to his amusement. Mabel and Dipper are trashing the store costumes, riding a wheelbarrow, while Grunkle Stan gets some material for scaring trick-or-treaters. The cashier calls security due to the disturbance they're making, so Grunkle Stan throws a smoke bomb at the cashier and runs away with the gang, paying for the things with Stan bucks. Stan's poorly drawn counterfeit money. Yeah, that's pretty much stealing. I mean, he does a lot of illegal stuff in this show. Dipper and Mabel were planning out Summerween when Seuss tells Dipper and Mabel about the Summerween trickster. If the children do not have Summerween spirit, the Summerween trickster eats them alive. However, Dipper begins throwing out candy that he deems as trashy loser candy that Stan had bought to hand out, unaware that someone is watching him from afar. The doorbell rings and Dipper goes to answer it. Dipper's surprised to find Wendy and Robbie at the door. When Robbie asks Dipper if he's going trick-or-treating, Wendy tells him that Dipper isn't because trick-or-treating is for kids. Dipper reluctantly agrees with her. Wendy invites Dipper to Tambour's Summerween party, and Dipper says he will go. However, Mabel has invited Grenda and Candy to go trick-or-treating. Dipper fakes being sick so he can go to Tambour's party. However, the doorbell rings again, and this time it's the Summerween trickster. Dipper mistakes him for a normal trick-or-treater, says he's too old for trick-or-treating, and slams the door on him. The trickster knocks on the door again, but Dipper slams it in his face, angering the trickster. Mabel scolds Dipper and opens the door again. The Summerween trickster now breaks into the mystery shack and tells him, Mabel, and Grenda and Candy that if they don't deliver 500 pieces of candy to him by the time all the jack-o'-lanterns in town go out, he'll eat them, proving that he will keep his promise by eating a random trick-or-treater named Gorney who arrives at the shack. They head over to Lazy Susan's house to trick-or-treat. Because Dipper refused to get dressed up, they only get one piece of candy each, and he receives none. Because of this, Mabel decides to dress Dipper up and act cute whenever they go to houses, which greatly increases their candy yield. Eventually, they end up with 499 candy pieces, and Mabel decides to go to the last piece with everyone but Dipper. Go get the last piece with everyone but Dipper, while Seuss goes somewhere to get his truck so they can deliver the candy. Unfortunately, Dipper sees Wendy and Robbie arriving in their van, forcing him to take off his Summerween costume and hide the supply of candy behind a bush. When Dipper tells him that he will be back at the party soon, Wendy and Robbie take off, but in doing so, Mabel, who came back from the last house with the last piece of candy and overheard everything, discovers why he faked being sick earlier, leaving her upset that her brother was going to ditch her on Halloween. It doesn't get any better. The supply of candy has fallen off a cliff behind the bush and into a river because Dipper had not been paying attention, and everyone begins blowing out their candles and their jack-o'-melons. Dipper, Mabel, Grenda, and Candy manage to stop Old Man McGucket from blowing out his jack-o'-melon, but when they breathe a sigh of relief, the jack-o'-melon goes out. The Summerween trickster then arrives. Meanwhile, Grunkle Stan is having a difficult time trying to scare the two kids. He even has waddles burst out of his chest, that's a pig if you don't remember, in an attempt to scare them. But the kids are not scared due to watching horror movies ever since they were 2 years old. Way too young to be watching horror movies. The kids scare Grunkle Stan with his screamer video, and Stan runs back in the mystery shack in disgrace. Soon the Summerween trickster tries to eat Dipper Mabel, but suddenly Seuss comes out of nowhere and drives his truck straight through the monster, smashing him to pieces. The kids get into the truck, but Mabel gives Dipper the cold shoulder for not wanting to trick-or-treat with her and lying to her. Unfortunately, the Summerween trickster comes back to life as the pieces were assembled and he pursues the truck. Dipper, Mabel, Grenda, Candy, and Seuss hide in the Summerween store while hiding in the shelves. Mabel reveals she was upset with Dipper for choosing to go to a party with Wendy because she was worried this will be the last time they'll trick-or-treat because they're getting too old. If you ask me, no age is too old to go trick-or-treating. I go even now. Like last year I went, and I'm going to go this year probably too. But yeah. They are almost in the clear when Seuss turns on a cackling skull that he was playing with earlier, and the Summerween trickster finds them. The Summerween trickster is revealed to be an amalgamation of pieces of loser candy no one wanted and tossed in the dump. It eats Seuss and then tries to eat Dipper and Mabel. However, Seuss eats the monster from the inside out and the trickster collapses. The Summerween trickster then confesses that all he wanted was someone to enjoy his candy, and he starts crying tears of candy corn as Seuss happily eats him. Grunkle Stan finally manages to scare the two kids after they sneak into his house and accidentally see him half naked in his bathroom to wash off the shame, and the kids drop their huge sacks of candy while running away. Dipper, Mabel, Seuss, Grenda, and Candy finally get back to the mystery shack and find Wendy back early from the party. Dipper confesses to Wendy that he was trick-or-treating, but she has no problem with it, replying that the party was lame anyway and that Robbie had to go home early because he ate a lollipop stick first, causing Dipper to laugh. In the end, everyone watches TV eating the candy Grunkle Stan got from the two kids. Grunkle Stan explains that Summerween isn't about candy or scaring others, but a night to celebrate pure evil. After some maniacal laughter, Seuss confesses, "I ate a man alive tonight," and everyone glances strangely at him. And that was the episode Summerween, one of my favorite episodes. Definitely give it at least like a 4.9 out of 5. Maybe, probably even a 5 out of 5. It's a really good episode, and you guys should check it out. Sorry. I get spam calls a lot. But yeah, it's a really good episode. It's one of the scarier episodes. I mean, there's some pretty intense episodes. This is definitely one of the scarier ones. It's one of the best ones, too. Definitely one of my favorites of Season 1 and of the whole series. But my favorite is definitely the finale. But I'll get to that probably in, like, I don't know, a while. It'll probably take, like, a week or so. Or 2 weeks. I don't know. To get to that one because I haven't even made it halfway through the series. I still have, like almost 30 episodes to go. Crazy. Alright, I'll see you guys next time for the next episode. Bye.